What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast. This is family. This is my sister. Welcome to the Morning Jam, everybody. Yolanda Mercer. What's up, sis?
Hey, how are you?
Listen, I'm so good right now, especially seeing you. I mean, I have been seeing you for quite some time, all on Facebook doing your thing, sis. You've been on the show before, so welcome back. We want to see what's going on with you. So
Yeah,
let's get into it.
I'm
Let's
so
get into
excited
it.
to be here.
So tell me what's been going on, sis.
Oh wow. A lot of transitioning. Of course, just during the pandemic, that of course shifted a lot of people
Yeah,
and forced a lot of people to really pivot and transition. And I was no different. So since then, I have transitioned to full time entrepreneurship, full time ministry. And yeah, it has definitely been a full blown transition
yeah.
and a full blown faith walk, but I'm grateful for it. And just truly growing and trusting Him every day.
Yeah, I love it because I know, like, watching you basically on Facebook doing your thing, like ministering and preaching, girl, you are a powerhouse. I like listen to some of your sermons and they are like beyond amazing. I know definitely God has definitely been using you in so many areas. I know that you are a life coach, you're a pastor, an author, you know, wow. And how, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 34.
So super young.
Yeah.
And just out here being like that queen that you are in the ministry and living your best life. I love it. I love it.
You
It's
have
such,
to.
yeah, you're such an inspiration to so many women. What do you think about how do you feel about that?
I honestly, my mindset is I wish that I had a Yolanda. I wish that I had someone that would encourage me, that would give me that needed advice, give me that needed, inspiration and push at a younger age than I am now.
Yeah,
And when I have that type of mindset, then that in itself gives me the motivation to continue encouraging other people because
yeah,
I know it was something that I needed also, and I wish that I had. So, yeah, that is definitely a huge motivation
mhm,
behind knowing that somebody is watching me and somebody is waiting on me to show up,
mhm,
so
yeah.
that they can get started. And so, yeah, that's definitely my entire thought process and motivation behind that.
Yeah, for me, I have looked at you, so many younger women that's like, I mean, not too much younger than me, like your age.
Mhm.
Um, have I looked at you and I'm trying to think of the young lady's name. Let me think right here quick for just a second. Taylor, Taylor Banks.
Yes, I love Taylor. That is
Okay,
my sister for real.
listen, I met you two over, through Facebook, and I was like, even as an older sister, I'm just gonna say as an
Mhm.
older sister to you ladies, you ladies have inspired me so much to just really continue to do what I do. We know so many things come into play in our lives and try to distract us, and we go through different things. But when I look at you two ladies, I get that inspiration, that
Mhm.
motivation, like, oh, I know I can do it now. And it's an amazing feeling, just really how I can just look at different ones, if they're younger than me, if they're older than me, and just really push me to even do better. So what have your experience been when when younger women or even older women alike come to you and say, "Hey, Yolanda," however they approach you, "You
Mhm.
have been so great to me, and every time I look or hear a message from you, I get so inspired and motivated from you." What's that? How's that for you, and what do you say to them?
It is definitely rewarding to know that
Mhm.
what I am doing is impactful, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not about me, but it's about the people that are impacted by the words
Mhm.
that come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Also, just the obedience piece, because I know that because of my obedience, that somebody is blessed because of it. And so my entire motivation is just to continue to prove that,
Mhm.
Jesus was not wrong about me. He wasn't
Yeah.
wrong to, save me. He wasn't wrong to anoint me. He wasn't wrong to call me. And he can trust me with his people. And so when people do tell me that, it is encouraging, because sometimes as a leader, you do get bamboozled by the enemy, because he
Yeah.
does convince you, or at least try to convince you, that you're not worthy, or you're not qualified, or
Yeah.
you're not making a difference. And so when you hear people say that you are, then that encourages you to keep
Yeah.
pushing, to keep fighting every day, and to keep showing up every day, because that's not easy. Being saved and continually every day pushing yourself to trust God, even in the midst of transition or
Yeah.
uncertainty, it's easier said than done. So to be able to hear people say that you are impactful, yes, that is
Yeah.
truly, truly, truly encouraging.
Yeah, I know for me, being me definitely growing up in the ministry all my life, it was I wouldn't say that it was a struggle for me, because at the beginning I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to church, it's a traditional thing. And then as I got older, I started to, oh, okay, so this is something that I want to do. I definitely want to get close to God. I definitely want to, know him for myself. And as I begin to experience that, even receiving the gift of the Holy Ghost at, on, maybe it was in my 20s, early 20s, when I received the gift of the Holy, and it was something, just a different experience for me. And a lot of people think when you're saved, when you're living saved, that it's not fun. You don't get to do the exciting things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you can still be you. You still can be an amazing person. You can still have fun. But I do, end up walking or talking to, running into different ones that really think that way about, okay, if I get saved, I'm not going to have as much fun as I am doing right now. So have you encountered that? Have someone walked up to you and say, okay, listen, if I get saved, I'm not going to have any fun.
Well, yes, definitely. I feel as though that's the stigma for salvation, for Christianity in general, is that you have to lose your personality and lose your
Mhm.
style. And for me, that's not the case. I love all types of music, I love fashion. I love, people in general. I love, to have a good time. These are things
Right.
that I had a passion for, before knowing Christ for myself.
Mhm.
And I have continued having a love and a passion for those. And in fact, I use those things to bring people to Christ. And I use those things
Right.
to share the message of my relationship with God. And I feel as though those are tools that we all can use. When
Yeah.
he saves us in totality. He knows who we are. And so I often think that a lot of times he definitely creates our personalities,
Mhm.
so that they can be a direct reflection of what
Yeah,
he wants us to show people in the earth. I'm a firm believer to never allow your personality to detour your purpose. If
yeah,
I allow person and I'm vibrant, then that's how I want to be in my purpose. I want to be, that person that attracts people that are also loud. Like, wow, she's loud, she got a little
yeah,
dollop of ratchetness. I can do that as well, and then for the quiet people, because, I consider myself to be an introvert. And so just because I'm not the loudest person in the room doesn't mean that my voice does not have value. So it
yeah,
works both ways to really, carry who you are as a person into this life, of God and of the church, and really
yeah,
allow that to shine and connect with those, that can see your heart. Because to me, that's what it is. It's
yeah,
having
yeah.
that genuine authenticity, and that's what people are looking for.
Yeah, and I've definitely like a lot of times, like on my Facebook lives in the past that I was doing, I was like, okay, you guys, let your light shine, bring the inner person
Mhm.
out. Sometimes we as Christian, we tend to hide who we really are and put on that, I wouldn't say that front, and maybe some people may say that, or okay, let me just live this life and I'm just gonna hide who I really am. I always wanted to like, come on, guys, just show who you are. I
Yeah.
mean, we need that in the church. We need that personality. We need that in the church. And for me, church is not only just in the four walls. This when I leave, that church is just
Yeah.
within me. And I admire you as a young sister, and I appreciate for all that you do. Definitely, I appreciate you very much. My heart goes to you. I love you. And I want to just get into right now because you have been like on it, sis, like this hot girl summer.
Yes.
This hot girl summer. And okay, so when I was like hot girl summer, what is I said, oh, humble, open, and transparent.
Yes.
Got it. So
Yes.
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. To me, it's just a message, exactly like you said, being able to be humble enough to, share openly and transparently your
Yeah,
story. I believe that we overcome by the words of our testimony. That's his word. And
yeah, absolutely.
so all of our experiences that we have, nothing that we experience will be wasted. He is
Yeah,
using it all. And so why can we not use it all? I want to share my story, and I want to be able to connect with other women, to let them know that if you want to write a book, sis, let's write a book. If you want to
yeah,
start a business, let's start a business. If you feel like you have a ministry, let's get started with that. I want to get to a place where we have that humble and open and transparent space between us, where we can
yeah,
continually push each other and continually, even carry each other. A lot of times we are not strong enough in certain seasons. We need
yeah.
help. We need somebody interceding for us. We need somebody praying for us. We need somebody
Mhm.
who says, you know what, sis, I'm carrying this for you. And
Yeah,
so to me, this hot girl summer has been about just pushing each other, encouraging each other to just get started,
yeah,
and not sitting on your gifts, because I believe that gifts are not meant to be lying dormant, but they're meant to make
mhm,
room for you. And so
yeah,
I'm just excited about, everything that has been occurring. I mean, literally every month, or literally every 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, here I blaze again, because I want to make sure that whatever God has given me, whatever strategy, whatever idea, that I am fully using that to push women to openly and transparently, and
yeah,
unapologetically walk in their purpose. And so,
Yeah.
yes, that is what Hot Girl Summer is all about. And so I have just been blazing again and again, just really putting a fire under so many women to get started.
I love it because, for me, I was like, hot girl summer, what is this? And I kind of like ran across what it meant. And I was like, I love it. Because,
Yeah.
for me, there's been so many doors and so many people that has approached me. And I definitely want to be humble in whatever God has for me. My friend has told me, don't run all over the place. You just wear yourself thin. And I have come because I was like, man, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of this. And I know that I can't like split myself in half and I send that half over there. No, but I just want what God has for me. I definitely want what God has for me. I even with the younger women that I come in contact with, I love to like just tell them how beautiful they are, how great they are, what personality, how amazing they are. Even the size. You guys, you ladies are the bomb. Like I just love encouraging women, and that's just like been my huge, heart and the gift that God has placed on me. You talk about somebody that can like talk all the time. That's me. I love to talk. I love to laugh like constantly. But that's me. I just love talking. I get that from my mom. And my mom never, I tell it all the time, my mom never meets a stranger. And if she does, I mean, she's making up a friend already. I mean, constantly right then and there. It's just, I get it honestly from my mom and my dad. He likes to talk, but he's kind of like reserved in some spots too. But it's just something that I love to do. I just love really like communicating with people. That's one huge thing that I don't regret or want anything to happen to that because I do love talking to people and just being genuine and being myself with people as well. But definitely telling them about Jesus Christ and what He has done for me. My testimony, man, I have a testimony that just will just light up a room. And I know that God has given me that personally. Because one point a time in my life, I thought I wasn't even going to be here. I wanted to just give up and just like, okay, I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of not being able to just really be me. But that was definitely one thing that I said, God, you give me a second chance. I'm running with this. I'm not even gonna slow down. But things tend to get in our way, like I said, and slow us down. But I've
Yeah.
never quit. I definitely never quit. And I just encourage women to not just don't ever quit. We may slow down sometime, but just don't quit. I want to engage on one thing that I saw on your Facebook page that was really very inspiring to me. It was the inspiring and motivating the 21st century youth. And that was at Shiloh Baptist Church. I know it's passed already. It happened June 13th. And you were with Alexis Fife as
Yeah.
well. Sunday's Best, season number 5, runner up. So how was that for you? How experience that was?
It was awesome just being able to be a part of that. It was for a college conference. So just a bunch of
Oh, that's
college
great.
students um, that were there, definitely during, of course, graduation season.
Yeah,
So it was just an awesome time to really pour into them. A lot of times, of course, when you are just graduating from college,
yeah,
it can be petrifying. You're happy, but at the same time, again, it's
yeah.
transitional because, some of them have never lived on their own. Some
Right.
of them don't know what is next. And so I could definitely relate because that's a huge part of my story is, after
Yeah.
college, I really was on the struggle bus. I didn't know what was next.
Mhm.
And, a lot of my classmates, they had a plan. They immediately started
Yeah.
successful careers. They immediately started marriages, and that was not my testimony. So just being able to trust God in the midst of transition and being able to share that story with them was awesome. Just an awesome experience to say, I've been in your shoes. I know
Mhm.
what it's like to be in an in-between place. I know what it's like to compare myself to other
Mhm.
classmates,
Yeah.
um, and desire something that God could very well have told me I was supposed to be, but I just didn't
Yeah.
see it yet. And so, that becomes the big question. What do you do when what your life looks like does not resemble what God has showed you? And so
Yeah.
just it was a very encouraging time for them. And even a lot of the parents was like, I know this was supposed to be for the college students, but that sermon was for me.
Well,
Because
that's
I'm in
good. I love
transition
it.
too. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. I know for me, Yolanda, I had definitely had to transition and with my son graduating high school. And I'm one like, son, please go to college, please do this. And I'm like, KJ, you got this opportunity. And he's like, okay, whatever. And then he's like, I got it. We just step off. And it's just I just had to really learn how to, okay, this young man is not a baby anymore. So I have to like especially talk to him like he's a young man, respect his boundaries, let him do his thing, let him bump his head. And oh my gosh, I talked to so many people like, please, I mean, crying, like, please, I'm not this. And it was so hard, just like to let him go and make his own path. And still now, I'm still trying to tell him like into his life a little bit. Like, please let me help you.
Yes.
I may not know everything, but in this, the transition, that's a big thing. Even for me, like I'm in a place now where I'm transitioning and it's amazing and it's scary, but
Yes.
I know God has a plan. And
Yes.
that was one of the things that you were talking about too, that I was just like, oh, this girl is like reading me. And you said, don't let the area code fool you.
Okay.
And listen, this is part of what you said on Facebook. It says, no matter what transition you are experiencing, God is still with you. We often think that God cannot move in transition. And like I'm like, Lord, I'm so lost. I don't know what to do. Are you even listening to me? Are you here? And that's with a lot of people. And you said God is most active in instability. And then I look, instability is lack of stability, the state of being unstable, uncertainty, and unreliable. And I was like, oh, OMG. And then you was like, you can believe God right in the middle of your transition. God will be the most active in the places of your life that seems the most uncertain. He is teaching you to stand when it's unstable. Let him. Girl, you
Mm.
lost. I was like, I needed that. When I read that
Yeah.
today, I was like, it was like a light that came on. Like, I have got to get myself together.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process in this transition. And I do feel like I'm kind of unstable in it because I want to be that independent woman. I want to be, and I'm like, God, you have got to help me in this.
Yeah.
So let me know, even when there's somebody now that's going to watch this podcast, what do you tell them when they're like, right now, I know I've read this and it's going to hit so many homes that where they're unstable, when they feel like they don't have that reliability on themselves, what can I do? What would you say to them? Because I know I'm going to hear a word.
I
Come
just,
on.
I would definitely tell them, first of all, to not lose that encouragement,
Yeah.
and not to miss the moment just
Mhm.
because they are in the midst of uncertainty, because
Mhm.
faith thrives in uncertainty. You want to see faith really rise up in you? Oh my God. Let it be in a time where things are uncertain. Let it be during a time where things are, just
Mhm.
stifling, or you feel like things have just stopped, or you're in an in between place or in a transition. This is when faith really rises up, because in
Yeah.
seasons of uncertainty, learning how to walk in unfamiliarity, that's what grooms your faith.
Mhm.
And what kills our faith is the familiar. When we want
Yeah.
to cling to the familiar, we want to cling to only the things that make us comfortable. And that's why God
Yes.
utilizes discomfort. That's why God
Yes.
utilizes transition, because he wants us to grow and he wants
Mhm.
us to evolve. But number one, he wants us to trust him. When
Mhm.
we are in places of instability and uncertainty, we are
Yeah.
forced to only depend on God. And
Yeah.
that is his plan, is to completely destabilize us, because we often think that the enemy's job is to always create chaos. But in
Mhm.
my opinion, the enemy's job is to create comfort, because he does not
Mm.
want us to depend on God. He does not want us to have
Oh,
to
that's
walk
good.
by faith. He
Yeah.
wants us to completely cling to our comfort zones. And so that's why he creates them. And so
Mm.
our ultimate job is to, in the midst of things being uncertain, trust God in the process. And
Yeah.
one thing that I was saying a lot this week was that when we hold on to our own plans, then change looks like a punishment. When God
Oh,
starts to change things in our life, we think it's a
yeah.
bad thing. Like, wait, Lord, wait, this is not supposed to change. This person's been my friend for years. Why are things changing?
Right.
I've
Yeah.
been on this job for years. Why are things changing? Oh, I've
Mhm.
always wanted to, live here, but why are things changing? And God is
Yeah.
transitioning us because he does want us to grow. But when we are so content with holding on to our own plans, then change really does look like a punishment. We think that
Mhm.
God is punishing us when he's really trying to grow us and he's really trying to build our faith. So when you are in places of uncertainty, do not blame God as far as to say he is punishing you, but
Mhm.
embrace that change, embrace
Yeah.
that transition, and use that to grow your faith, and use that to really show God that you are trusting in him. And that
Yeah.
way, when you are in those seasons of those in between places, you find your faith really growing like never before. And
Yeah.
second, I would say stop begging God for details. He is not a God of details. And a lot of
Yeah.
times, it's not that he's given us information incompletely, he's just given us information incrementally, a little
Yeah.
bit at a time, again, so that we can continue to trust him every step of the way, because sometimes we may not be ready for everything that he has for us, and so
Right.
he knows the timing the best, more than
Yeah.
anybody else. Our timing is never his timing, and so we have to stop begging God for details, because a lot of times we're so busy looking for the details and God has
Mhm.
already given us direction, and we miss him altogether. And so
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
are in those in between places, it's
Mhm.
very important that you don't concentrate on, oh God, what are the details? But what are the details? No, just trust him and allow this time to really, really build your faith.
Yeah, I know for me, Yolanda, I'm one to like, oh, give me, I need some details. Show me the details. I want to know every step that one person to take.
Yeah,
But a lot of times I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna trust you because right now I don't see the plan.
yeah,
Right now, I don't know what I'm about to do. Right now, I don't know my next step. So God, please allow me to trust in you to really like understand where you taking me to. Because I know right now I'm trusting God. Like I've got to trust God where He's, taking me to, where He's, bringing me to, where He's bringing me from, where He brought me from, and I'll just. Oh, girl, I was like, God, I just thank you really, because if it wasn't for the people that was in my life during those times, I was like, God, this right here, my mind would have been like completely
yeah,
gone. One, like just losing myself, um, really not focusing on, more focusing on the problem than
mhm,
really looking at the bright light that's coming out of the situation.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was like really hard at one point, and I was like, if I don't see any details, God, I need to see what the plan is. I need to
Yeah.
see what this is going to happen. But things fell into place so good. I was like, okay, I will definitely listen to you from now on.
And I'm sure he laughs at us like, girl, stop. Like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I have already
Right,
created the plan. I have predestined you before you were in your mother's womb. I'm
right.
the author and the finisher, honey. So why
Like
are you
we the one
stressing?
that's forgetting that. Like
Yes.
he already know us. He already know what we're gonna do. Like really, come
Yes.
on, Crystal, trust me, I got you.
Yes. Oh my God. So true.
So I know that Taylor Banks had a experience. It was the pursuit experience. Did you go to that? Were you a part of that?
No, but I will be a part of what she's doing now. She's doing
Hmm.
a part two of the Pursuit experience,
Okay.
where she will basically be bringing in just a bunch of experts and preachers to really pour into all of the women that
Yeah.
are part of Women in Pursuit. And so, yes, I will definitely be a part of that. I'll
I'm
actually
so excited.
speaking a part of that. And so I'm really excited to just be able to impart
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
so many women. This season alone, just God opening that door for me to be able to share. People are always shocked when I tell them I have not been preaching for years. I literally just started last year, and they're like, no, like, and I'm like, yes. 'Cause I
Listen,
mean, you know,
when God levels you, let me tell
yeah,
you, He puts you up there. And
yeah,
Yolanda, you have been on so much this year. Like it's just June,
yeah.
and you have been like all over in so many like podcasts and so many interviews and so many things that's happening to you. I'm like, look at God. And I only can just be
Damn.
so happy for you. I'm like so happy because I know like the pursuit experience, I've seen some of it and it's just really great. And it's like women from the US and Canada that she's brought already.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
says intentionally and intensely pursue God. If I said that right, with Taylor Banks, it says prayer, purpose, health, wealth, and sisterhood. And I just love that because
Yes.
this 2021, we have, like, let me tell you, sisters have been supporting sisters, and it's just a great thing to see,
Yes.
especially in our culture. It is just really, we're not fighting, bumping heads to anybody. It's just really lifting each other up. Like, you need some help. Come on, grab my arm.
Mhm.
Let's support one another. And I love it. And she said is in sisterhood, better together, be in pursuit. And I'm just loving it.
I,
Let's be
I
in
mean,
pursuit of that experience. I love
I
it.
love that entire community. She's brought me in a couple of times to speak or even to be a part of her prayer summits, and they are always great. And that's really how we connected in general. We both had to preach at a conference in Houston a few months
Yeah.
ago, and it was amazing.
Mhm.
Like the Holy Spirit moved so just massively that the remaining speakers could not even speak. The
What?
host was like, we have to, kind of end things now because things have just completely shifted, and that's literally how we connected, and we have been sisters and friends literally ever since. And so that
Wow.
sisterhood part is so true because I have shared this a few times on different podcasts just about my introversion and how I've never had a group of friends. I've had like one friend, from each phase of my life, or oh, I met this girl at college, or I met this girl at high school,
Yeah.
but that is it. And so to, go to a conference for women, and meet other women who are like-minded and who really want to push each other and
Yeah.
encourage each other. That was so refreshing to experience. And so literally a couple months after that conference, we ended up going on a trip together. No, ministry, just to go. And
Yeah.
I said that that was the first time ever in my life that I had ever been anywhere with a group of women. I have
Yeah.
never in my life traveled with a group of women. I've never hung out with a group of women. I have just always been a loner. And so to
Mhm.
experience that level of sisterhood, you're absolutely right. It was incredible. And
Yeah.
it was very encouraging to see other women who love the Lord, but still, were adamant about, like we said, just continuing to be themselves and being loving and being fun and, having personalities. And so, yeah, I definitely, definitely love that aspect of sisterhood.
That's awesome. So I definitely appreciate you for joining me on the podcast, the Morning Gym podcast. It's been a blessing. For you, are what would you tell someone right now that's trying to reach, have been watching you, maybe even a young or even older lady that's been watching this, trying to reach that level of perfection? I say it's perfection because when I look at you, it's just really amazing. It's really like really out of this world, I can say, because it's really really great. So what would you say to them that's trying to reach where you are?
Definitely tell them to never let their inexperience shift
Hmm.
their appetite. Like, don't let what you have not experienced yet stop
Yeah.
you from being hungry for more and for greater. I never in my life desired to be an entrepreneur. I never in my life desired to preach. These were things I didn't have a background in or an experience in, but
Hmm.
God showed me that there was more. That's the whole premise and purpose of my whole, platform, No Caves, because I
Yeah.
was prophesied to last year by my pastor that it was time to come out of the cave, and I had been hidden for too long.
Mm.
And that really propelled me to want to come out of the cave and to want to get started and trust God. And no matter what my inexperience was, I did not let that shift my appetite. I was still hungry for greater. I was hungry to learn. I was hungry to grow. And I was hungry to really step outside of my comfort zone and do what God told me to do. And when
Right.
you can do that, to me, that is when you can really honor your purpose.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're gonna hit on this topic just for a split
Uh-huh.
minute, just for a split minute, and I'm just adding this in because I know when I look at you, your style, your beauty, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself on Facebook, even wherever you go, it is very well like put together. So Monique put out a video about girls wearing bonnets and flip-flops and pajamas and house slippers and all of this. So from a woman that know how to represent herself, what is your standpoint on what she said? For me, I took it really good, but I want to hear what you have.
I mean, me personally, I have never been one to step out of the house in my bonnets. I don't even wear bonnets. Like I just don't even like hair scarves in general. I just really like sleep how it is, and how I wake up is how I wake up. So yeah, I just think that when you step out, you do step out not knowing who you're gonna see or who, you may bump into, or just to me, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself and
Mhm. Yeah.
level of confidence and how you are representing yourself as a woman. And for my personal experience and preference, I do prefer to, even if I put on a hat, like I love hats. So I would put on a hat any day before, I wear a bonnet or a headscarf out, just because I do think that your style, that represents you. And your image, to me, it teaches people how to approach you. And so
Yeah.
if I step out and, like you said, I present myself a certain way, then I already teach people how to approach me, because it shows the respect and the love that I have for Yolanda.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Y'all heard it right here on my podcast, which is this is your friend Crystal Whitaker right here with Yolanda Mercer. She don't wear all that. She don't need it. You don't either. Yolanda, let the people know where they can reach you, where they can connect with you, where they can book you, and also on this sleekedition.com. I'm seeing you, girl.
Yes.
I am seeing you.
I'm trying to tell you, you can reach me. My website is yolandadmercer.com. And there you can book me if you are interested in telling your story. I can help you write a book and publish it through my publishing company, The Scribe Suite. Um, if you would like just to talk, and want to book a coaching session, I do have a program called Caves, where I teach women to come out of caves and come out of their comfort zones and do what God has called you to do. And then, as Crystal mentioned, I did open a boutique called Sleek Edition. So if you are in the shopping mood for some retail therapy, definitely hit up sleekedition.com. Actually, today I just launched my styling edition to that. So if you go on that website as well and you're interested in kind of revamping your closet and, just finding your personal style, then hit me up again, because I love to style. I love fashion in general. And so, yeah, let's do this thing. Sleek edition, making every outfit a limited edition.
I'm so excited for you. I love it, sis. Thank you again for coming on and just letting the people know where you are right now. Yolanda Mercer is doing the thing, y'all. Right here with your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker. I appreciate you, sis. Much love to you. I know God has got so much even greater in 2022 for you. So, hey, I'm proud. Thank you for joining me, sis. I love you and be blessed. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.